So very good morning to everyone present here. Welcome back to the third day of our 5-day FDP. Today we have Dr. Suraj Sudhakar with us. He'll be taking the session on criteria 3, that is research, innovation and extension. Dr. Suraj has been into the academic field for the past 16 years, and he has been with very leading institutions in Kerala as well as outside Kerala. And he's a PhD holder from Pondicherry University, and he has done his MPhil from Alagappa University. He has a stint with the industry for some years, and then he has come to teach. He has also done his PIP from NMIMS Mumbai. He is also handling training programs for various corporates, and he's very an excellent person in research, and he's a research guide for various universities as well. Here he'll be presenting on criteria 3, that is research, innovation, and extension. I welcome Dr. Suraj for the session, and I hope all the participants will make use of the session so that you can have a very good NAC accreditation process for your institution. So welcome all, and welcome, sir.
So good morning, everyone. So today I would like to make my presentation on research, innovation and extension activities has to be carried out in an institution for bringing excellence in the higher education. First of all, my criteria is criteria 3. Have a look into the weightage of the criteria 3 and the key indicators which coming under my criteria. That's research, innovation and extension. So let's have a comparison of weightages for different institutions. So the first one is universities. Universities total weightage is 250 weightages. Autonomous college, its weightage is 150, and affiliated college with the UG course, total weightage is 110, and affiliated college PG course, it's 120. So research is very important in university. Around 25% weightage has been given for the research in the accreditation process. In the case of PG colleges, it is 12% weightage. So when I'm looking into these things, resource mobilization for research, have a look into this. So this includes what are the important activities coming under the research center, how many research gates are there, research supervisors are there, and how many research scholars has been admitted in the research center, then how much research grant has been received, and what are the activities coming under the research center. All these things will coming under resource mobilization for. Then the next one is innovation ecosystem. Innovation ecosystem is also applicable to the PG course. Innovation ecosystem, which includes what are the startup centers and how many startup centers in the college, and how many MOUs which put forward with other organizations for setting up the startup centers, and what are the innovative products that developed by our students, have any patent rates or something like that. That's also coming under this one, innovation ecosystem. The next one is research, publication and awards. How many publications in UGC journals and Scopus Index journals, and how many conference proceedings, and what are the other publications, and how many PhD holders receive the award, PhD award, and all these things will coming under 3.4, research, publication and awards. Then the extension activities. What are the different kinds of extension activities carried out in the organization, and how many awards actually received for the extension activities. So all these things, how many students actually participated in the extension activities, coming under the next key indicator, that's extension activity key indicator. And the next is collaboration. Collaboration can be of different types, the research collaborations, then collaborations with the training institutions, and collaborations with other organizations, management consultancy firms. So everything is coming under this. So Finally, what we can understand that, from this analysis, we can easily evaluate and check what are our strength, your institution strength, you can easily identify and you can work on that. So 120 is the weightage for the affiliated colleges with the PG institution. Let's look into the sub-criteria. Sub-criteria, this is the sub-criteria, that's a grant from government and non-governmental agency. So if you receive some grant from any governmental or non-governmental agencies, its weightage is 5. And how many teachers are actually recognized as research grade and how many scholars were admitted, its weightage is 5. Say, for example, the next one is 3.1.3, that is percentage of department having a research project. So what does it mean? If an institution having different departments, 5 to 7 departments, and out of 7 departments, how many departments have got the research projects? And some institutions will start the new departments, but they don't have research project. This will reflect on this weightage very effectively, and that has to be considered also. Then the next one is innovation ecosystem, which includes this qualitative metrics, and this includes startup centers details, then product developed by our students, and any other innovation has been made in the institution, and its weightage is 5. Then the next is number of workshops and seminars. So how many workshops and seminars continuously, conducted by the institution in each and every year, which has also got weightage of 5. Okay. Then the next is number of PhDs registered per teacher. Number of PhDs registered per teacher, which means that how many PhD awarded in the institutions, which actually reflecting, and its weightage is 5. And 3.3.2, it's research publications in UGC and Scopus index papers. How many publications made by each and every faculty in the institution? Its weightage is 10. Then how many books published by the faculty? How many edited volume, and how many conference proceedings, and how many papers published in the conferences, which its weightage is 10. Then one qualitative metrics, that's 3.4.1, extension activity details, weightage is 5. Then for the extension activities, if the institution receives some awards from government and state governmental agencies, its weightage is 10. And how many extension activities and what are the different varieties of extension activities carried out in the institutions, its weightage is 15. Then the most important thing is, the extension activities has been conducted in the institution, but only few students has been participated in the extension activity. It will also reflect on the weightage. Most of the students should be participated in the extension activity, and you will get more weightage for this particular criteria, sub-criteria. And the number of collaborative activity, how many collaborative activities like placement cell, any kind of agencies are there, we can put MOUs with such kind of institutions or organizations. Some consultancy firms are there, and we can put MOUs with all these things will coming under 3.5.1. That is number of collaborative activity. Then number of functional MOUs also coming under this. All functional MOUs details, its weightage is 10. So total weightage is 120. So for an institution, what you want to evaluate, from your angle, which area you are very strong, you should evaluate it. Say, for example, 60 to 70% of the research gates or research supervisors are there, and you should focus more on this area, research publications in UGC and Scopus index papers, and number of books, chapters, and conference proceedings. So its weightage is 20, 10 plus 10, 20. But it's very important to have UGC and Scopus index papers only, and peer-reviewed journals are not actually considered in the Naac process, accreditation process. So what we want to understand, the most important thing is, you can score maximum marks in this extension activity. Extension activities total marks is 50. So 50 marks, so the institution who have not very strong in the research area must focus on the extension activities to get maximum weightage. So these are the things has to be evaluated before we look into the research, innovation, and extension. So coming to the next, the grant from government and non-government agencies. This is criteria 3.1.1. Research funding basically for two types of research, as we all know that it's one is for scientific research and second one is social science research. And more fund has been allocated for scientific research in India, and social science research funding is not very much in India. So basically, there are two types of funding. One is government agencies, and second is non-governmental agencies. Big corporates also funding for this research purpose. So in India, it's only 0.7% of the GDP has been spent on the research funding and research activities. But in the developed countries, around 1.5 to 3% of the GDP is actually coming as research funds. So we know the limitation. We have not so much of research funding actually obtained for the activities. That is one of the limitation. But considering all these limitations, let's have a look into the research funding agencies. There are different research funding agencies are available. The first one is National Council for Economic Research and Training, NCRT. Suppose if any students are writing some research proposals on gender equity programs, financial inclusion, or any kind of innovative proposals, which can be supervised by the faculty members, and they can submit the research proposals to the NCRT, and NCRT's funding is around 5 to 6 lakh rupees, which we can try. And the next one is social science research. The one of the biggest institution is ICSSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research. So economics, international studies, commerce, and management. There are two types of projects are available under ICSSR. One is minor project and second one is major project. And minor project with the duration of 1 year and its funding amount is 5 to 6 lakh rupees. And major project, its duration is 2 years and its funding amount is around 11 to 12 lakh rupees. So any institutions, in commerce and management category, if you can forward this kind of proposals to the ICSSR. And now the central government decided to start FPOs, Farmers Producers Organization. So at the same time, UGC is also considering for collaboration with the students with the faculty to start up the organizations, start the organization. So FPO is one of the innovative concepts, and students and faculty can join together and start FPO, and they will get they can submit the research proposals to the NABARD, and NABARD will sanction the research amount. That's another opportunity which is available for research funding. Then some general research related to the technical education, how to improve the education system in India, and what are the social and behavioral contexts for academic learning. So related to any kind of general researches, you can approach Institute of Education Science. Then if you would like to have funding for the startup, there are students have some ideas and they would like to develop some innovative things in the business and or, they can contact definitely intensification of research in high priority area, IRHPA, for the research funding purpose. They are providing the startup research grant. And the next is science and society related program. It's actually they are actually assisting our students for developing the technological things are developed, and any new patent rates or something which you want to obtain the patent for that. This is one of the institution science and society related program. You can approach them. Then fellowship program for women scientists, WCP, that's Women Component Plan. Then ACT is giving a good opportunity for the young faculty. If 2 or 3 young faculty can join together with any organization or institution, and they can have collaborative research team, and its funding amount is around 20 to 25 lakh rupees. That's actually collaborative research team. You can try for that also. Then ACT is also providing the funding for the FTP faculty development program. These are some of the opportunities which are available for research funding. So when we go for the accreditation process, we received the grant from research grant from IIT Delhi to Unnat Bharat Abhiyan team for the village adoption activities. We have adopted 3 villages and conducted cleaning activities and market survey, flood relief activities, a lot of activities which has been carried out by our students. And one of the most interesting thing is our students' character has been changed after implementing all these kind of plans. That's another thing. So this is one of the research funding opportunity available to you also. Let's look into the criteria 3.1.1. This is SSR. And if we receive certain amount, we can put the amount in lakhs. If it is 50 lakh, you can put it as 50. If it is 50,000, you can put it as 0.5. So if any other details related to the government agencies approval for the research projects and e-copies of the award letters, for all these informations, you can upload it here. Look at that. The first one is list of endowments, projects with the details of grants. So you can upload the things here. And every year, 2019-20, how much amount received, you can put that figure here. 2018-90, if you receive any grant, here you can put it. And every year you can put the amount and all the additional information, any other additional informations are there, you can attach all those additional informations also in this particular criteria. So the most important thing for getting maximum weightage score is to have, a research center in the institution. Around 60 to 70% of the faculty members should be the approved research supervisors of the affiliating university. Then other faculty members should undertake some small research projects also to carry some marks. So the faculty can focus on these research areas also, value education, ICT, language teaching, and environmental education, and any issues related to the teaching and learning. So all these aspects, institution can give more focus on the research. So for our institution, we have got 3 gates. Dr. Jacob PM leading from the front as a research supervisor, and he's the research supervisor for the KUFOS, Kerala University of Fisheries and Ocean Studies. At the same time, he is actually acting as external research guide for the Annamalai University and guiding 3 research scholars. This is our research center detail. So this 3.1.2, its weightage is 5. So if any approval letters from the research center, so it has to be added here. Institutional data in postgrad form, you should add it. And how many research scholars has been admitted under each and every gate, this should be here. And any kind of approval letters for the research scholars details and admission details, everything should be put it in this particular criteria, sub-criteria 3.1.2. So all these informations, you can add it in this particular criteria, 3.1.2. So the most important point is, the PhD holders, 60 to 70% of PhD holders should be there in the institution. Okay? Maximum weightage. That's the most important. Then the percentage of department, next sub-criteria is 3.1.3, percentage of department having research projects. Its weightage is 5. Suppose if an institution have seven departments, and they are offering academic programs, and from 2015 onwards, they have got six departments, assuming that six departments, and the institution decided to start the new additional departments, and but they don't have research funding, so it will also reflect on the weightage. So all the departments should have the research projects. Then only you will get the maximum weightage for this particular sub-criteria. So any research funding for each and every department, all the departments' research funding activity details and funding agency details, approval details, everything should be included and it should be attached here. And the list of research projects that should be attached in the next one, any other additional information, and agency's website, you can have a link on that. That link also you can paste it here. And all this information should be attached in this particular criteria 3.1.3. Okay, its weightage is 5. So when we talk about research, the institution must adopt certain strategies to promote research. That's very important. A lot of institutions are telling research is the key thing, but they're not giving the atmosphere, research atmosphere, then it will affect. It will also affect on the weightages under this particular criteria. And faculty should get minimum 15 days of duty and academic leave to attend the seminars for data collection for research study. If you're attending the seminar, it should be a duty leave or it should be academic leave. If you go for data collection purpose, you must get that leave. That's most important thing. Minimum 15 days duty and academic leave should be there. And teachers must be permitted to take casual leave to meet their grade in between doing the thesis work, which is very important. And institution must allow the staff members to use the computer and internet facility in the evening period after the classes. Institution must allow the research scholars to use the computer and internet facility. Then if they are participating, research scholars are participating in the conferences or workshops or seminars, registration fee must be exempted from this. And publication fee, suppose if the faculty is publishing in any UGC index journal or Scopus index journal, so publication fee must be provided by the institution. If the publication amount around 30,000 or something like that in Q2 journals, so 50 to 60% of the funding can be provided by the institution. That's also very important. The institution should adopt all these strategies to promote research, getting maximum weightage on those criteria 3.1.1, 3.1.2, and 3.1.3. Then only will get maximum weightage. The next is innovation ecosystem, startup initiatives. So that's the most important thing. So I put some of the startup initiative which are general. That's one is fish farming, and second one is organic farming. Then cleaning materials manufacturing, cloth bags production unit, and paper pen production unit, and video making unit, mushroom cultivation, LED making, rabbit and hamster farming, marketing and sale of organic vegetables. Likewise, some not only this, you can have a lot of advanced startup initiatives also, which can be included. When you go for the incubation activities, the most important thing is you must put MOUs with organizations for setting up the incubation center. This is very, very important. And ASAP, this is one of the organization in Kerala. KITCO is another organization. Then if you want to get, communication incubation center facility, UNICEF is giving the grant for this purpose. And Atal Incubation Center is providing the fund. And Department of, you can have venture with the Department of MSME. MSME will also assist you for setting up the incubation center. Then some of the important products which are developed through interdisciplinary research. And from this interdisciplinary research, International Council of Technology Management, suppose if you develop some of the product, some of the new product and some of the new patent rates you would like to develop. And one of the best institution which you can tie up is International Council of Technology Management. And next is women supporting organization is known as FICCI Ladies Organization. These are some of the MOUs and grants relating to incubation activity. It has to be considered. And for this 3.2.1 innovation ecosystem, this is a qualitative metrics. Its weightage is 5. And you should write all the details properly. What are all the activities? What are the incubation centers? And in the process, meanwhile, in the process, how many incubation center has been completed the process? So everything should be there in this qualitative metrics. Innovation ecosystem, you must write properly these things without any grammatical mistakes. And this is weightage 5. 5 weightage is for a 3.2.1 innovation ecosystem. So our institution, I'm just showing you some of the products which are developed by our students. We are actually looking for getting the patent rate for these products. And one product is Sangle. It's actually a bangle which can be worn by the women or girls. And this device will be connected to the nearest and dearest person. Anytime they can track, your daughter is moving to some places, so you can easily track it. That product is actually known as Sangle, which was developed by our students. And we are on the process of getting the patent rate of this product. And next is Tracky. Tracky is actually known as GPS tracking collar for the cattle. Actually, nowadays the central government is allocating more funds for the farming activities. So this could be one of the innovative products. The cattle is moving to some places. We can track movement of the cattle with the mobile phone. This is one product which is developed by our students, Tracky. Then Kerala, you know that it's a flood affected area for the last 2 to 3 years. And we can make a home by using steel shipping containers, which are rejected after the usage. This is another product developed by our students. I'm just showing you some of the products developed by our students. So likewise, you can have some kind of brainstorming session with the students, and you can develop the creative ideas, you can collect the ideas, and you can have developing certain kind of products and looking for the pattern for those products. That's also one of the things which you can include in this criteria. Then the next is workshops and seminars, 3.2.2. So a series of workshops and seminars on different aspects should be conducted in the organization or in the institution. Training session on the occasion of World Environment Day. Gandhi Smriti, I'm just giving you a few examples only. Training in paper bag making. Workshop on the role of intellectual property right, seminar on research methodology, seminar on sustainable development and climate change, workshop and exhibition on the occasion of National Statistical Day celebration. If we are talking about the research center, definitely we must conduct the workshop and exhibition on this. And workshop on statistical analysis using R and Excel, and central government is supporting Ayurveda and yoga. So we must conduct workshop on Ayurveda, blood donation awareness seminars, and workshop on the importance of yoga. So these things also has to be included in your seminar series. Its weightage is 5. A number of workshops and seminars, 3.2.2, its weightage is 5. So each and every year, how many activities, how many seminars, how many workshops has been conducted. Very clearly, the Naac is specifying on 3 areas. One is research methodology, the first one. Second one is intellectual property rights. And third one is entrepreneurship. These are the 3 areas the institution must focus on conducting the workshops and seminars. So it should be 3 to 5 days workshops or seminars. So the report of the event, each and every seminar's activities report should be there and it should be attached here. And how many workshops and seminars during the last 5 years, all those informations should be attached here. Any other additional information also to be there. So this is the SSR form. So we have the habit of conducting a conference, national conference around 2015-16 onwards. We started Vaidakya conference. So this year also we are organizing Vaidakya. So all participants can also join for our conference, Vaidikya conference. This time we are planning to conduct it as an international conference. So you can join for this international conference. These are the different themes actually for the Vaidikya conference, which has been displayed here. So when we talk about all these things, research initiatives from the management is very important. Any management representatives are in the seminar should take care of all these things. A language lab, a full-fledged language lab with computers, minimum 10 to 12 computers should be there under the research center, which is very important. Then the creativity always start, research always start from the students. So the campus blog is very important. College should encourage the students to have certain kind of their creative ideas and photography contests or any other creative things. They can put it in that blogosphere through a blog, and we can collect this information. And research will start from this campus blog, which is very important. Then the next is plagiarism software, and students are submitting the research projects, minor project and major project, by way of copying the things from other projects and all should be avoided. So students are the key people in the research. So plagiarism software is very important in the institution. Most probably, most of the institution may have this. So, but I'm telling that other institutions don't have this. You can consider. Then research project by faculty. So faculty can submit the proposals. And once the research has been conducted by way of associating with any consultancy firm, and after completing that project, faculty can publish that particular research thing in Scopus Index Journal, and it should be funded by the institution. Research project by faculty should be funded by the institution. And most of the innovative things and the ideas and the products are actually developing through interdisciplinary research, especially the research between finance and computer science, and research between agriculture and computer science. These are the things actually help us to develop the product. So in your institution with a lot of departments, definitely every month you should have interdisciplinary research meeting, and interdisciplinary research brainstorming session should be conducted among the students as well as the faculty to develop the product. That's also very important. And of course, journals and conference proceedings, that is also very essential thing. So under the guidance of Dr. Jacob, PM Director, Center for Community and Business Research, it's a forum that has been started by Naibunya Business School for supporting all PhD scholars in and around India. So any scholars would like to have some doubts related to your research, this is one of the best platform which we are providing to you. And you have some doubts related to the thesis writing, or you have some doubts related to the conferences that are organizing in and around India or abroad, everything you will get it from CCBR. CCBR is Center for Community and Business Research. I'm inviting you to join in our CCBR forum. Then the next is number of PhDs registered per teacher. How many PhDs were awarded in that particular institutions? So all these PhD scholars and the thesis details, name of the grade, and when it has been awarded. So all these informations should be attached in this particular criteria, sub-criteria 3.3.1 and 3.3.1.2. So you should put all this information, and its weightage is 5. So have a look into the weightages and where you can score maximum score. That also you should look into this. And the next is research publications. That is 3.3.2. This is one of the key area. So when you submit the papers, there are a lot of papers, within 1 week, you can submit the papers, and the paper will be published in UGC index journals or something like that. Those are, sometimes those are predatory journals, and some of the journals which are in the print version, but you will send the paper to them, and they will directly, accept that paper and send it to you. Such papers are actually fake journals papers. Don't submit all these papers in these fake journals. So which is very, very important. And once you submit your papers in the Scopus Index journals, especially in Q4, and very immediately it will be removed from the Q4. Q4 journals list, your paper will be removed. That will not be considered by the NAC for the accreditation process. So when you're submitting the SSR at that time, your paper should be approved one. Your paper should be approved one by the Scopus. So it is very safe to have Q3 Scopus Index journals. It won't remove very fastly. So Q3 or Q2 Scopus Index journals, you can publish it. And the next most important point is articles authored by faculty or researchers beyond the period. Beyond the period, if the NAC accreditation process is only for 5 years, and beyond the period, any publications which you put under this particular criteria will not be considered in the NAC process. That's another point. Then articles, suppose if you are a new faculty here and you are applying for the NAC courses and your article published in the previous institution, and that particular article will not be considered under this particular criteria. So what we can understand from this, all these aspects will be evaluated by the NAC. If you put, number of papers as 20 or 25, finally NAC will evaluate all these things. And finally, they will take the correct list and they will put the marks for these research publications. So definitely you want to look into all these aspects. How many faculties newly joined, whether you included any kind of papers that published in the previous institution in your process, you should check and evaluate that. Another one is any faculty or researchers put their research papers just before 5 years or something like that. So those has been included or not, you should check it. Any peer-reviewed journals were included or not. All these things should be checked and evaluated, determining the process flow of the data validation. So once you're submitting the SSR, after submitting the SSR, the total, the publication details will be sending it to the InflipNet. And InflipNet will submit the data within 15 days after the submission of SSR. Then everything, how many publications you claimed, InflipNet will tell that, after verifying and scrutinizing, they will very clearly tell that this much of publications are really valid. If you have any objections or comments, an alert is actually sent to InflipNet. InflipNet will decide the validity of that. They will decide the validity. Suppose if you have no objections within that stipulated time, and InflipNet will consider it as the final thing for the metrics. This is actually the process flow of the data validation process. Okay, so you should know about that also. Very important. Its weightage is 10. Search papers per teacher, its weightage is 10. How many papers per teacher? So suppose if one faculty is publishing, 20 papers in UGC and other faculty is not publishing, that also reflecting on the weightage. That also reflecting on the weightage. And another thing is one faculty is publishing the paper and newly joined faculties are not publishing the papers. That's also reflecting on the weightage. Reflecting on the weightage. So many things are affecting on the weightage. And more faculty are there in the institution, but only 2 faculty are publishing, or that also reflect on the weightage. So there is a formula used for calculating this. So considering this formula only, you will get the marks. So it is very, very important to have publication by each and every faculty for each and every year, which is very, very important. So the research papers, the title and what is the title of the paper and who is the author of the paper and which department written the paper and when you publish that particular paper. So all these informations should be attached in this particular document. So these documents list is there in SSR. So any other additional informations means UGC approval details should be there in this particular document. For example, in the cover page of the UGC, that particular paper, it should be there in this second as a additional information. So its weightage is 10. Research papers per teacher, weightage is 10. Then a number of books and chapters in edited volume and papers published in national and international conference proceedings per teacher during the last 5 years. And most important thing is financial assistance should be provided to the scholars for attending the conference inside and outside India, which is very, very important. For any institution, if we are talking about research and all, the assistance should be provided to the scholars as well as to the faculty for attending the conferences inside and outside India. And the financial support also should be provided to our students for participating in the conferences outside India. That will enhance the reputation of the institution, which is very, very important. If there are some international conferences held in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, or Dubai, or somewhere else, we must send the best students from our institution for attending the conferences. And we must provide the fund for this. That is also very important. Then faculty should participate in the promotion of assessment accreditation, iqac, and all these things you can have. You can participate in all these activities also, which is very, very important. So this is SSR 3.3.3, number of books and chapters in edited volume, and papers published in the national and international conference proceedings per teacher during the last 5 years. So here what you can do for each year, 5 years are there, for each year you can put the number 9, 15, 2017, 18, 10. Likewise, you can put the number of books and number of chapters and number of papers that has been published in the national and international conference proceedings. So all the details of the books and the chapters of the edited volumes, everything should be attached as a separate document here. Any other additional information related to the publications, conference proceedings, and all these details must be attached in the SSR 3.3.3.1. So all these things should be attached here. And the most important thing is if you're conducting conference, national conference or international conference, and inviting the papers, and our students and faculty participated and presented the papers in the international conference or national conference, and its proceedings are publishing, that will be counted, and you will get more weightage for that. So we also organized this national conference. We got maximum weightage for this particular criteria, 3.3.3.1. Book publication is also very important. Let's have a look into the book publication. And next is extension activities. So the extension activities must be conducted in the institution, but it should sensitize the students on the social issues. And it should motivate students for the betterment of society. And students will get the opportunity to interact with the community. Also, the students will be able to develop their leadership skills, and they will get maximum confidence. And they will, their character will change. That's also one of the the impact of the extension activities on the society as well as on the students. Both of these things will happen by way of conducting all these activities. So this criteria is 3.4.1. 3.4.1, its weightage is 5. So this is actually a qualitative matrix. So all the details of the extension activities you should write here. Sensitization program, how many sensitization program, each program's features, everything should be put it in this particular criteria, 3.4.1 extension activity, its weightage is 5. So always remember extension activities weightage, total extension activities weightage is 50 marks, 50 weightage. That's, you should take care of that. And what are the different types of extension activities which you can organize? Here, one activity is that is flood relief activity, and the railway station premises cleaning, that also which we can put it as an extension activity. You can adopt, your institution can adopt 2 or 3 villages or any number of villages, and you can conduct cleaning activities, campaign program, survey related program, or something like that. That is also one of the extension activity which you can organize. And film festival also one of the extension activity. And we organized one program, that's hair donation program to the cancer patients. So students donated the hair to the cancer patient. That is also one extension activity. And drinking water project to the tribal. And tribal are actually facing drinking water issues. So one project has been initiated by our students. Then energy conservation program, care and share programs at orphanage, and blood bank, exhibition of Khadi products on Gandhi Smriti Day, and house for homeless, paddy cultivation. Likewise, there are a lot of extension activities. I'm just telling you a few examples. And by way of conducting extension activities, you will get the recognition, you will get the awards from the government and government recognized bodies. It can be from state government or central government recognized bodies. So how many awards which you are receiving? That's a very, very important sub-criteria fetching marks, weightage 10. Okay, number of awards for extension activities in last 5 years. Every year you should get at least, 2 to 3 awards. From 2015-16, if we got, 2 to 3 awards, the weightage will be different. Our awarded weightage will be different. So e-copy of the award letters, it should be written in English only, not in your regional language. And this letters, scanned copy of letters should be attached here. And how many awards received for each and every activity, you should put it as a document here. All other additional information related to the awards and recognition can be added here. Weightage is 10. So our institution received awards, for 3 awards. One is rural development activities. We received award from one Grama Panchayat. And there is an activity carried out by our institution, that is Hastam. And its award received from Adirapalli Grama Panchayat. And one project initiated by our students, that is drinking water project to the tribals. Its award received from District Collector Thrissur. These are the awards received respectively, which reflect on the weightages for this particular criteria. And this is one of the most important criteria, number of extension activities. Weightage 15 weightages for the number of extension activity. So the most important thing is these extension activities must be conducted through NSS, NCC, Red Cross, or YRC. So every year you should conduct these activities. What I shown you already, all these activities should be conducted. Variety of extension activities should be organized. Not only flood relief activity, you should organize some other extension activities. All these activities details should be included in this particular criteria, 3.4.3.1. So report of each and every event should be written meticulously in a proper way under this particular head in this report of the event organized document. That head you should put it. And how many extension activity, how many community services, and how many extension activities in collaboration with industry, So all these information should be attached here. Any other additional informations can be also attached in this particular sub criteria. The most important point is its weightage is 15. If your department is not very strong in research, you can score maximum score in this area. Extension activities, at least minimum 5 to 6 extension activities should be conducted in each and every year. That's very, very important. Then this is one of the most important thing, average percentage of students in extension activity. Suppose in your college around 300 students are there, only 20 students are participating in the extension activity, you will get low weightage. So maximum number of students should be participated in the extension activity. That's very important. Say, for example, 2 or 3 batches are running simultaneously. If 2 batches are running simultaneously, and in these 2 batches, around 60 to 70% of the students should be participated in the extension activity, then only you will get maximum weightage for this particular criteria, sub criteria. So the attendance details of the students. So all those informations should be attached here. The event along with the attendance details should be attached under this particular thing, report of the event. All the attendance details should be there, should be scanned and signed by the faculty coordinator, and the head of the department should be put the seal and signature. Everything should be there. Then average percentage of students participating in extension activities, details should be attached in this particular criteria, which is 3.4.4, weightage is 20. And the next is number of collaboration. Number of collaboration. You can have collaboration with for different types of activity. One is research collaboration, and next is faculty exchange program, and third is student exchange and internship programs. So these are the important collaborative activities which you can carry out in the institution. So research collaboration, you can have collaboration with the ICSSR. ICSSR is providing the financial assistance for collecting the data from abroad. If you are doing a project abroad, and for the data collection purpose also, ICSSR is providing the funds. And there is an organization, Research Development Association, Jaipur. This is one of the organization which will give assistance for conducting the conferences. Your institution can have tie-up with this particular organization, and you can organize the conference in your institution. So a lot of participants will come to your institution and participate in that, because they will also bring a lot of research scholars to your institution, around 100 to 150 research scholars they will bring, and you will also take care of that, and you can also bring around 100. So you will get a maximum number of papers, and that is one important organization, RDA Jaipur. And Spark project, which is applicable mainly to the aided institutions, so but self-financing institution also supporting for that, Ministry of HRD. So that's another collaboration. IFERP is the IFERP also providing the assistance for organizing the conference. So these are the research collaborations which you can think about. Then the next is foreign student and staff academic exchange program. Suppose if African students and Afghan students like to study in your institution, there is a organization, that's Indian Council for Cultural Relations. So you can submit the proposal to them by way of showing all your infrastructure facilities which can be provided to those students. And you can have tie-up with the universities in both Africa and Afghanistan, and the students will come and study the course here. This is one opportunity which is available, and you can have MOU with them. Nihon Fukushima University, Japan. So, say for example, faculty is academic research. Academic research can be done by way of collaborating with this university. Then a dual exchange or twinning program, Concordia College, USA, they are also providing twinning programs. And foreign students wanted to come and study here. That's ETSIL, MHRD Government of India. So you can give the application form to EDSIL by way of showing all your amenities and facilities provided to the students. And foreign students will opt to your institution. That's another tie-up which you can opt. EDSIL, MHRD, Government of India. Then pinning programs are organized by other universities, Newman's University, UK, Charles Darwin University, Australia. So we can have tie-up with all of these universities for the student exchange program, faculty exchange program. For all these activities, you can have tie-up and collaboration with these organizations and institutions to take care of this thing. So two collaborations, one is research collaboration, which is most important. And second one is faculty exchange and student exchange program collaboration is needed. Then the next is, the students. Nowadays, the most important thing is theoretical knowledge is not enough practical knowledge. Mixing the practical knowledge with theoretical knowledge, which will help the students to get the jobs in the organization. It's very important to have tie-up with some organizations and institutions who are doing the internship and on-the-job training program. So there are different organizations. So I'm taking some of the organizations and institutions in Kerala. So this is one of the organizations, especially if your course is BCom. So BCom with ACCA is very important nowadays. And all big institutions are conducting this BCom with ACCA, that is Global FTI. This is one of the institution organizing this program. Then Naibuni International is providing the training program in competitive exams. Then Strategies is one of the institutions providing the training on Microsoft Excel. And in Kerala, there is a organization that's HeadGKT is providing the training program in capital markets. And some market research or financial feasibility studies, if the students want to conduct such kind of programs. Well, there are several consultancy firms are actually available in India. That is, one is Paddle Management Consultants. Then GST training or tax management training or something like that. You have a lot of agencies, Creative Tax Solutions. Then in Kerala, additional skill acquisition program, ASAP is one of the institute organization available for providing the training program. So you can put MOUs with all these institutions. So you can put MOUs with universities and industries and corporate houses for getting maximum score in this particular criteria, 3.5.2. So this is actually the most important thing, how you enter all these informations under 3.5.1, how many collaborative activities, you should put the number. For each and every year, you should put the number. And if you put MOUs with these organizations and institutions, then e-copy of this particular MOU should be attached here. And when you have a discussion with this particular organization, the mails, every informations related to the collaborative activity should be attached here. Any other additional photographs or something like that should be attached in this. And the most important thing is number of collaborative activities should be there in each and every year to fetch marks. Then number of functional MOUs with institutions. How many MOUs you put on each and every year should put it in the SSR. And from 2015-16, if there is any MOU, you should put the number here. 2016-17, put the number. Likewise, you should put the numbers of each and every MOU should put it in every year. Should be there. Then e-copies of the MOUs. E-copy of the MOU should be there as an attachment, and the details of all functional MOUs and its importance and university's approval and everything should be there as a separate document here. Additional information can be attached in here. This is criteria 3.5.2. So what I would like to tell you that understand your strength, your institution strength. And if your institution is very strong in research, conducting the research, and your research department consists of, research 6 or 7 research supervisors out of 10, then you can focus more on publishing Scopus index papers, Q2 and Q1 papers, and UGC index papers. You can publish all these papers and get maximum marks for this. That's one thing in the research. If your department is not very strong enough in conducting the research activities and all, but should be there, get maximum marks. But if your department is not very strong enough in it, and focus on the extension activity part, and try to participate all students for in that particular extension activity for getting maximum marks. And you should have MOUs with institutions, and you should have MOUs with universities and industries. So this is one area which you can focus for getting maximum weightage. So have a plan on this. Let's have a plan on this. And what are your strengths and what are your weakness in this particular criteria? Have a look into this and plan it and focus on few areas and work out the things. You will be able to get maximum weightage for this particular criteria. If you have any doubts, you can discuss on that. Thank you.
I hope Suraj sir has given a good presentation regarding the third criteria. Now, from the experiences, let me tell you that when the peer team visit, the members, when they come to your campus, they will be looking at this particular criteria in detail. One of the most important, because, research is something that everyone is looking forward to. And the advantage of the institution also is that they can also, they can also exhibit a lot of things under this particular criteria. So it is basically a win-win situation for both of you. For example, for you as a college, you can exhibit. Similarly, you will be asked also. So this is where you need to focus on. So when Suraj sir was going through that, I think it is something very valuable, because we find it very difficult. Yes, Shruti Verma, madam, yes, you can definitely, it will be counted. Only thing is, I'll come to that again. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Anil Kumar, I'll come back to you. Anyway, so this is something where you have to really work on improving. So this will support you also, and you have to do it. There is no other option available as far as research is concerned. You have to find out what is the opportunity for having a research center in your campus, because having a research center will definitely support you a lot in getting even projects also. Guides will be there automatically. See, when you have a research center, guides will be there. When there are guides, when you start applying for research center, and try to find out as to what are the different avenues. As Suraj sir was mentioning, we did not have a research center at one point of time. So we started off with something called as MBA CCBR, and Naipanya Business School Center for Community and Business Research. Now, it was basically an opportunity to, it was actually to interact with the research scholars. And we started getting actually inquiries, and we had a good number of students or research scholars also coming to our college, and getting in touch with us. And when we applied for when we applied for this, for this research center, this was one of the points in which motivated actually the university to give us a research center. Okay, now we'll come to the questions. Okay, we'll start with.
Okay.
So that is what,
Previous
the member of a college is a co-author of a paper. Can it be counted? Definitely. See, I'm a guide, and my scholars are writing papers. Definitely, it will be counted. So it is not an issue. You can definitely do that. Sir, can I apply for funding for conducting research? Yes, that is where our Suraj sir has gone in detail. He has really worked on the number of organizations which are ready for to give you funds. But only thing is, you need to do a proper study and then submit the project report. Nobody will give you a fund, for just writing an email. So when you are ready to conduct actually a project and identify what you could do in this, and apply for funding to the relevant agencies, you are likely to get it. But it is not an easy task. You have to conduct using your students. You can conduct actually a study, identify you first of all, you should know what the area that you're going to do. Then utilize your students to do research, survey, conduct survey, and then come out with the project report. Now, one more thing, let me tell you is that whenever you do any sort of a project, for example, you are doing a program on extension, drinking water scheme, you need to have a final completion report. A project report has to be there. If you do not have, let me tell you that it will be in bits and pieces. For example, you may have a brochure sometimes, you may have some attendance can be there, you may have some photographs could be there, but all these things will not be accepted. So create, because this on one side, maybe in the quantitative, you may get some marks, but when the peer team visit, comes, you may not get marks on that qualitative side. So it is always essential that you need to have a proper research. Whenever you accomplish any project, any extension activity, convert that into a project report. And there should be some people to do this administration work, because all the faculty members may not be able to do this, especially for self-financing colleges and all, we are like overloaded with a lot of work. So it is, there should be somebody to work on this. You should have actually documentation department, which can actually work on these type of project report. And project funding is possible also. There are a lot of NGOs also ready to do, but the project, it has to be done in a systematic way. Otherwise, nobody's going to, because see, they are only looking at the project and approving it. They are not looking at how much you have worked. So you have to convince them. Without convincing them, you may have to go and make a presentation. Then only they will give you the fund. So they should be convinced that you are, so that for that, degree qualification is important. For that, your experience may be important. The way in which you present a report will be important. All these things are important. The background of the institution may be important. So there are a host of factors, which will definitely support you. That is the reason why when professors of IIM or IIT, when they write project reports, it is easily approved, because they have all these credentials. So as beginners, if you're a beginner also, try to start working on these. So definitely, you can get it. Do the ebooks like Kindle version carry equal weightage as the printed hard copy. Kindle also can be utilized. There is no problem, as long as it is a book, which is meant for teaching. But other than Kindle, you may have a lot of other publications also. For example, you have Pearson, or you have even Himalayan publishers. Everyone is having now ebooks. Now the era is actually going towards ebooks, not the paperback. So maybe whatever you're, according to the university, or maybe for your approving agency like AICT, there may be a minimum stipulated number of books. Now, if you're college or university, of course, I'm not talking about university because they have big funds. But when it comes to college, try to have the minimum in the the paperback. And now in future, try to have it in ebooks, so that you can actually share these books across to the students, and teaching, learning, everything becomes easier. So yes, ebooks definitely. Apart from ebooks, there are e-journals also, which you can definitely use it. Are there funds for doing research projects in institutions? Yes. Look at different organized institutions, like let's say if it is we have actually a university called Kerala Agriculture University. Now, Kerala Agriculture University gets actually project funding from different organizations. Now, what you could do is actually you can join with them, you can collaborate with them, and you can do some support. Like maybe you can utilize your students to collect actually data. Okay, your students can work under them, and so it becomes actually collaboration, and you will be able to get the work. Maybe sometimes you may get funds, sometimes you may not get funds, but you become as a collaborator. When you become a collaborator, you also stand to gain on that, because your name is there. Ebook bearing ISBN number. Yes, every book has got an ISBN number. It will be definitely there. And one advantage is, like ebooks will have the latest versions also. The latest will be there in ebooks. It will not be the old versions. So definitely the latest. So you can get it from Pearson. But only thing is, whenever you subscribe for that, you need to have a bill of this, which has to be there. How much money you have invested. All those things have to be there. And in the name of your college. For us, we have two institutions here, and earlier everything was going to the parent institution, and then we did not have anything to produce. So you need to have bill, you need to have as to how many people could access it. And when the PTV comes to your campus, you will have to show them as to how students are accessing all these things. And you will also have to show them what is the footfall also. That means how many students are accessing. It is not enough that you have an ebook or an e-journal. So you need to even make use of those ebooks also. So faculty members should give assignments or through this particular ebook. As a result, what will happen is the students will have to open the book. When the minute that student opens the book, it becomes a footfall. Similarly, in your library also, keep, no student should be admitted in the library by just, I would suggest actually not by signing, because even signature also is becoming difficult. You should have an RFID, tag, and based on that only students should enter into the library. So that will also come as your footfall. Of course, when we go for criteria 4 today afternoon, Madam will be definitely talking about all those things also. Any other doubts that you have? Maybe Suraj sir will be able to share you some of these slides regarding projects and regarding the agencies, funding agencies.
Hello.
Yeah.
Anil sir, can you just say which slide you wanted to see? Between you asked for a previous slide. Could you just mention? Anil sir, could you just mention which slide you want to see? In between, you had asked for repeating a slide. I think it was a funding agency slide, sir. I think this slide.
Yes.
I hope this is the slide which you were asking for.
Another one, yes, okay, yes, Anil, that's it, okay, yeah. Anyway, once we complete FTP, we will be having we will convert this into a YouTube video, and we will be uploading it, and we'll share the link also with all of you. And another one you would have seen, that many of your students may go for business plan contest. So when your students go for business plan contest and create products, and so on one side you can actually your students are getting prizes, they are coming out of the innovations. Another suggestion, in fact we did not do that, another suggestion which has come from the peer team visit when they visited the campus was converting all those innovative products, converting all those products that the students have created into actually either projects or maybe into patenting them. Patenting is very, very important. If you patent, your marks are going to be, I can very well say, sky is the limit. Patenting has got a lot of importance right now. If you do not do that, they will definitely write it down that you have not done justice to it. So please do that. Please do that. We see very often what happens with many of us is that we start off very, very enthusiastic. We're in the startup, we are very enthusiastic. Later, we tend to dilute it. So what happened is end result is we lose marks also. So please see to it. Similarly, writing papers. Make it mandatory for all the faculty members to publish at least 2 papers in a year. And the organization and the institution should even pay for that also. Okay, so definitely then you can get papers. At least one paper can be in Scopus or UGC. But again, I think Suraj sir she is very much aware about where you should publish also, because he will talk about clone journals. Would you like to know about it? Suraj sir is an expert. He knows about. I think sir has also not shared actually regarding that. Can you just share something about that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there are different journals, UGC index journals itself. Some predatory journals are there. So that list has been published by UGC already. So you can see some journals, print and online version. And if you submit that paper on today, and they will accept that paper within 3 days and send the letter to you. But it's a UGC paper. Their websites are very active, and a lot of publishers are there. But that's not an approved same name. I'm not mentioning the name right now, but a lot of journals are there like this. And these journals are predatory journals, and cloned journals are also available there. And don't submit the papers to any of these journals. And if you submit a paper to a valid publisher, then definitely they will scrutinize it for 2 or 3 months, and they will accept your paper after 6 months. And such kind of papers. So when you want to publish your papers, you must go to the UGC website and take the publication details under each one, social science and every aspect you should consider. Then you click it over there, and then you select the publisher's details and take the link from there, and then you apply. Okay. Otherwise, what happens when you search the publisher's name in the Google, and the same name will be coming over there, and you will apply it, and you will lose your money, and your publication will not be valid, and UGC won't consider this. So likewise, lot of papers are there. If you want to know more about that, you can discuss it in the NCBR. Our research forum is there. We are inviting you all for the NCBR. And you can come and have discussion with us, and you will get to know about what are the predatory journals, cloned journals, and what are the valid UGC journals. We can have discussion.
Thank you, sir. It was actually, this is something which has happened with many of the papers. You would find that, even the PhD research scholars also, they publish, and at the end, they find that the journal is not basically a UGC one. It is a predatory or a clone journal. So be careful with that. You can consult with somebody, or maybe you can consult with us also. We can also support you in this regard. But see to it, that you are not wasting your paper. Otherwise, your paper is also waste, money is also gone. So be careful.
Then another one is Corpus Index journals, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 is there. And if you publish the paper in Q4 journals, it may be there for 1 or 2 months. Then they will remove that paper from the Q4 list, and it will not be valid. When you go for the SSR at that time, it will not be valid. That's another problem. So you must publish the paper either in Q2 or Q3 journals. Corpus Index journal, that is good for getting the score, as well as it will not remove from the list. So please try to do like.
So Suraj was sharing, because this was one of the recommendations which the peer team visit has given to us. So they were asking, where are you publishing? So they said it, if you publish it in Q2, that is what they were saying. So they will always look for quality, and that is very important. So I think you should also take steps to see that you are publishing in reputed journals, Scopus, and that to Q2 or Q3, maximum, ideally Q2. At least Q3 should be, not Q4. Even Q4 also can be rejected. Any other questions from the group? I think when Suraj sir has spoken about research, people are keeping silent. What does that say? My dear faculty members, it is very essential. As long as you remain in teaching, publication is essential, without which you will not be able to survive in teaching. Any other questions from the group? I think if there is no other question, I would request the iqac coordinator to. Yeah.
So I think we have come to the end of the session. I thank Dr. Suraj for the wonderful session he has given. And I think he has gone elaborate on the research, innovation, and extension activities and what can be done by the colleges and the people who are attending here.